We have green light. Okay. Oh, nice. Good morning, everybody. I hope you had a nice walk. I hope you're not too tired, but also have enough energy to join us in the discussions later. Today we are going to discuss an important topic for everybody in the region and also, let's say, worldwide, because employment opportunities, mobility opportunities, and also internship and everything that comes with it, it's quite important for young people. Today we have the third real talk, and we have our distinguished guests. We are lucky to discuss with the academia, with the business sector, and also with the NGO. So we have panelists from different sectors that also can answer your questions and share their valuable insights about how they see the project we are going to talk about. But before we continue and before we go into today's topic, which is DigiPath for Youth Possibilities, Exploring Economic Empowerment, Pathway Management for Youth, we are going to have a few questions that we would like for you to scan the QR code and answer the questions. And also I'd like to mention that with me today we have Anelia, which will be the co-moderator, and she will be helping you and guiding the panel or the real talk with me. So welcome everybody and good morning. Please scan the QR code. Okay, we can see other people still scanning the QR code.
Different reactions.
And different reactions, yeah, we have quite a lot. Okay, we have, as I can see, 60 people in, so maybe a few more seconds if somebody wants to join as well. Okay. So the first question that we have is, what do you think is the most effective way to prepare young people for future job markets? We have digital skills training, internships and work experience, university education, entrepreneurship support programs, and cross-border collaborations. Okay, we see that the digital skills training, internships and work experience is leading quite a lot. Okay, we have cross-border collaborations as well. Okay. Aha, okay. Dobra. Okay. Would anybody like to share shortly? Why? Why did you choose digital skill training, internships and work when it comes to effective ways to prepare young people for the future job market? Oh, I can see you're tired. Yesterday I heard that there was a lot of singing. Okay. Okay, we'll go to the next question. We'll finish. Okay. What is the biggest barrier youth face in finding regional opportunities for employment, education, or mobility? What would you say? Language barrier. Lack of knowledge, lack of jobs for young people, lack of information again, lack of practical skills, lack of experience, no data, internship opportunities. It's moving quite fast. Okay, we'll wait a few seconds so that it settles down. Bad payment, okay, lack of information is leading for now, lack of data, different education opportunities. It's moving quite fast. Need for experience, okay, we have more answers. Lack of mobility, lack of cross-border jobs, no regional cooperation, master degree being a must probably, okay, unpaid internships as well. Yes. Okay, I think we have quite a lot of answers, and there we are going to the next question. In one word, what is the key to expanding youth mobility in the region? One word. Let's hear some interesting thoughts. Funding, cooperation, better infrastructure, partnerships, no visa, money, youth, young marriage, network, exposure, young marriage, connecting bridges, exactly, oh, exactly. Money with spaces between the letters. Okay, we have some emojis, money, 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 okay, okay. So commitment as well, cooperation, internships. Okay, we have quite a lot. Okay, nice. And the next question? How confident are you in the ability of digital platforms to create meaningful job opportunities for youth? What would you say on the scale from non-confident at all to very confident? So, okay, we are moving toward the right. 6.5, 6.4, okay, we are going back. 6.2, 6.3. Going back and forth. Would anybody would like to share really quickly, why do you think, why are you confident about the ability of digital platforms to create meaningful jobs? We were discussing digitalization and everything yesterday. Maybe any of you have any opinion about it? Sure, please. The microphone is coming. Just a quick sec. Okay, we have a nice curve. We are on 6.3. Now.
So when we are talking about digital platforms and digitalization, we think about it, it's our future. I mean, everything's going to be digital. We are we'll be using AR and VR in our, I think, normal work, because right now I'm working on big, projects with Connect International, where we're trying to use virtual reality and augmented reality in schools to see the, I don't know, like, how can we incorporate that to make maybe some better, let's say, medicine. It's really important, like augmented reality will be a big part of medicine. So I think like digital platforms and all digital tools we have will be a big part of job opportunities for youth. And we are the most experienced in, let's say, digitalization, because since we are born, we are bombarded with telephones, laptops, computers, and general like digitalization and internet. So I think that's our natural space for growth and working.
Nice, thank you. Yes, we are born in an information age where everything that's around us is basically technology, so that would be probably a huge part of our future. Okay, thank you. Do we have another question? Okay, 1 second. Okay, so back to the real talk. We have our respected guests. We have Dejan Vanevsky, we have Saja Kosovanovic. Yeah, one big round of applause, please, for everybody. We have Cristiano Reskovic, we have Ruben Vergara Mirson, Dr. Francesco Marelli, and Ms. Sanja Vukelic. So welcome everybody on the stage. Thank you for joining us today and sharing your views with all of us about the important topic that we are going to discuss today with all of the young people. But before we start, I would just like to make a quick introduction to a project which is also in the topic of the name, and the panel is dedicated also for the project, which is called DigiPath for Youth Possibilities. That's a Erasmus Plus funded project that is operating in 8 countries, including the Western Balkan countries, plus Slovenia and Croatia. And the idea of the project is to create a platform where the young people can find different information regarding education opportunities in the region, mobility opportunities, entrepreneurship, also internships, connect with universities. So all of the data that we think employment opportunities as well, that we find important to encourage cooperation and mobility in the region, will be put in one place so that we have all the data structured and it's easier to access and to be mobile. And today we are going to discuss mostly on the idea of unemployment, of possibilities for cooperation in the region, and information that can be shared. Firstly, I would like to invite Mr. Dejan Vanevski, which has a rich experience in teams, in building also talent management, and he is partner at Trivity. And he focused on aligning the right people with the right roles. So how do you think that a platform like Trivity, where you're partnered, could aid young people from our region to explore the job market and also find internship programs and entrepreneurship opportunities?
Okay, so this is one is working, thank you. Good morning, everyone. I hope you had a nice walk like I did. I got energized by walking in Kruševo, and I'm really glad to be here with all of you. Christian, thank you for your question. So practically, the topic of this morning is very much related to something that I passionately work on in the past 6 years. So we are pretty much on the same path, but we've passed a seriously bumpy road for 6 years. So building a digital platform or building something that we thought it would be very easy did not appear like that. So Trivity was created as a platform that should connect the people looking for a job with the companies that are employing, using algorithm and a lot of filtering and matching criteria. And a big innovation, we wanted to use behavioral competences as a base for matching people and the companies. So practically, we started together with COVID. So unfortunately, we had this not so fortunate circumstance. And in the first 2 years, so this is one of the signs for every entrepreneur. Don't be disappointed. We were like, we wanted to go uphill, but we were going constantly downhill. And we were struggling with the clients on both sides, finding the people that were really eager in that uncertain times to use digital platform, and then on the other hand, finding companies that are willing, of course, to participate and to finance the usage of the platform. And what we've realized is that we cannot stop. We cannot be disappointed of the initial results. And we were really, really focused on what is our cause. And our cause was that the people really cannot live without working. And this is the base of humanity. So people are working. And the companies really need us. And in reality, this is not something that is financed somehow else. It's our finance, our funds in building the platform. We really focused on finding the right user experience for the people using Trivity. And in the last 6 years, we have upgraded the platform for 4 times. So from alpha, now it's some gamma version. If you guys understand better than me, for sure, what is it? And practically, we have developed inside tools to enable the companies to use it easier. Also, we have a recruitment agency, and we are using it as our platform for recruitment. So practically, we have developed another tools for usage of this platform. Also, one more thing to mention, very interestingly for everybody here, 2 years ago, apart from normally Macedonian and English language, we have developed 2 more languages in the platform, which is Albanian and Serbian. So practically, I believe this is the only platform using those 4 languages at one point. And for young people, they can create their profile immediately have a very nice and proficient CV based on all the standards, and download this CV in any of these 4 languages. So practically you create it in your own language, or you create it in English, and then you can download it, for example, in Albanian if you want to apply on a job in Albania or in Kosovo. So practically we are seriously, I would say, we took our mission seriously to connect the people looking for a job and companies employing. And this is something that I would like to encourage you, as this is the panel, that you don't give up. So the road is bumpy, the road is not easy, but don't give up. So who is here in DigiPath development? Are there people here? So guys, don't get disappointed, and we are here to give you any support if you need something from our side in a matter of advice or a tool.
Okay, now it works. Thank you, Dejan. And I would like to pass the microphone to Misaja Kosanovic. She is coming from the academia in the field of architecture, urbanism, and sustainability. And also, you've been coordinating many activities, Erasmus project, and also project for young people. Given your involvement in the international projects, what role do you think collaboration between business, academia, and non-governmental organizations play in empowering young people to address societal problems and challenges?
Yes, thank you very much. Hello to everyone. I'm very happy to be here. And I hope that today I will not have to teach, but that I will learn. So I got a very interesting result from the survey. They said that university education is not important for the employment. That is a surprising fact, but I can also understand that fact because we give too much theory at the university, right? And that issue is not only, how to say, seen as not very nice for students. That is a challenge for us also who are working with designing university curricula. How much theory is enough or too much? And how can we enhance practical skills and competencies that our students should obtain during their education? Here we are restricted partially by law, because the laws, I think it's the same in all Balkan countries or similar, says that we have to have at least 50% of theoretical lectures. And another 50% goes to everything else. The law also says that we have at least 90 hours of professional practice per curricula, and that honestly is not enough. So we are struggling how to find an optimal composition of theory, practice. Another challenge, how to better connect university with the enterprise sector here in Balkans. And that also is not an easy task, especially in some fields. In our field of architecture and urban design, it can be easy in some places. In some other places, it's not easy to find proper local companies from which we can learn something. So challenges are many. And a huge issue and the important issue here is to be connected, to find out, to have information. And here, I think this DigiPath platform will help a lot. Students have to know that they also have to have their own initiative. But professors also have to know that they have to learn their whole career. They have to learn about new trends. They have to adapt their courses. They have to invite guest lecturers from NGO sector, from industry sectors. And then I believe we will have a better score in this regarding
Surveys,
this
yeah.
question. Yes. In some areas, like area of sustainability and resilience of the built environment, I can only say that is my specialty. I can only say that there is a huge pool of opportunities for Balkan industry sector, for NGO sector, for academia, for everybody, because these important topics are only emerging now in Balkans. They are very well known about in Europe, but here, for example, in Serbia, only from the last year, the law has introduced these terms: sustainability, green infrastructure, sustainable assessments, and so on. So I think it's an opportunity for many careers, not just for architects, for different branches, and maybe that can be one of the directions that this DigiPath platform will encompass and deal with.
Thank you. Can you share with us if you can think of some good practices that academia and also the non-government sector or the business sector were working, collaborating together for helping young people in your field, in your university faculty?
It all comes and ends with individual initiatives, you know. For example, I teach design studio courses, and every school year I try to find a realistic problem in the built environment, a realistic task. And so I often collaborate with municipalities, and from them I get an assignment that students should develop work on and develop a project from. And then we visit the municipality, we talk with them, and several times it happened that the project that the students have developed has been adapted and built later on by municipalities. I also, and some of my colleagues, we collaborate with NGO sectors. This is more regarding social issues, because we say buildings and cities are for people, right? We have to always include the social aspect in design. And here, NGO sector and some local NGOs were helping us a lot to do surveys, to approach citizens, to see what are the most burning social issues in the local, and so on.
So, simply put, you also include real-life problems in your classes and with the students you're working with, so that they can have the first-hand experience on how it is to solve problems even while they're younger.
Yes,
nice.
Yes.
Great. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I would like now to give the word to our co-moderator Anelia, so that you would share your comments, ideas, and views about the discussion we've made already.
Thank you, Kiko. Okay. I'm very glad to co-moderate this session, because DigiPath is something that we have been envisioning for a long time. However, we are still in the building phase, and I would like, Christian mentioned the countries that are involved. I'm gonna also mention the partners that we work with. So I will start from the stage. So we have from Croatia, we have the Croatian Youth Network, or MMH, this was easier to say. Then from Kosovo, we have the NGO Active. From North Macedonia, Youth Alliance is the leading organization. Then we have Nikola from Slovenia, Fondacija Vlade Divac from Serbia, the Union of Young Entrepreneurs from Montenegro. We have Proni from Bosnia and Herzegovina, and the National Youth Congress from Albania. So in the next period, we're gonna develop this platform. So I'm looking forward to co-moderate and to see what are your thoughts. When we started preparing the conference, Andrej Brajic, you signed up to be the one who wants to share some of your practices. So the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. My name is Andrej Brajic from Bosnia and Herzegovina. I manage a project called Employability and Jobs of the Future within SOS Children's Villages, Bosnia and Herzegovina. We basically focus on reskilling, upskilling of young people, providing them with courses, certified courses, trainings, educations, to bridge this gap between the lack of digital skills and practical skills of the usage of modern technology of the 21st century in formal education. So basically, some of our activities are providing them with certified courses in external centers, and also organizing workshops with professionals who are going to teach them about these digital skills. We also organize certain business camps. For example, we have several modules. For example, for digital marketing, we had like a module for organizing. Modules for organizing digital marketing, for actually providing them a platform so they can teach young people how to provide certain businesses, and also to start their own businesses. But the thing is, a lot of young people lack motivation to do further development in certain areas of their expertise. Now, of course, I am not an unemployment agency. We can provide them with certain education courses, but then again, we cannot provide them with the job opportunities. Although SOS Children's Villages have a lot of corporate donors who are willing to employ them, and quite often we receive their opportunities, job vacancies that are forward to young people, but quite often there's a lack of motivation to actually apply for these opportunities. So a digital platform like this would be an awesome opportunity to implement within certain initiatives like my project as well.
Thank you, and thank you, Andre. Now I would like to ask, does anyone coming from example, from North Macedonia study in another country of the region? Kiko, you're the only one? Okay. Does anyone have worked as a seasonal worker or have working experience in your neighboring countries? Okay. Can you raise higher your hands? Who would like to share the experience? How was the process? You have the mic next to Andre? And just stand up, please.
Okay. Hello again, Mia. My name is Selmir. I didn't. Okay. I'm working in Serbia for two NGOs and one in Brussels. I mean, the experience is, I mean, it's really important to network and meet new people, and that's the way I got the job in Belgrade. The experience is really, really good because the difference of the culture, because I'm from Bosnia and Herzegovina, and there is a lot of nationalities in Bosnia, and I had a contact with them, but I didn't meet them. I didn't have opportunities to know about their religion, their way of living, and getting this job in Belgrade was a great opportunity to do exactly that, and to see another way of looking on the life as well. It's a really good opportunity for young people in Belgrade, especially because it's a big city. I think it's the biggest city in the region, and youth all around from the region need to use that opportunity to go to Belgrade and other big cities.
How long did you stay?
I'm working still there.
You're working?
Yeah, it's part remote, part in the Belgrade. So like I'm on the road all the time to Belgrade and Bosnia, Tuzla. So I mean, I'm still working there, and it's a really, really good opportunity for me. Maybe one day I'll move to Belgrade because that opportunity I got from networking and in events like this. I got that job in an event that was like niche, just the same as this. So, and the experience there is really positive, and I don't know what else want to hear.
Do you had some bureaucratic procedures like working visa and these kind of obstacles?
Yeah, in the beginning, yes, because it was really hard. They had to invent a position that nobody in Serbia is qualified to do, so they can employ me. Because if there is anybody in the country that has that, let's say, skill set and that position, they can't employ anybody from the other country till every single person from that sphere of work is employed in the country. And they had to invent a position for me that nobody is skillful enough to do in their country.
Thank you. Does anyone else wants to share, or does anyone else had any kind of issues, not only in the Western Balkan or Croatia and Slovenia, but also, for example, from Bulgaria to Greece, Greece to Bulgaria, Romania, and the other countries? Have you ever faced some obstacles for looking for a job in these countries? Someone raised the hands that they have been working. The mic. Can you pass the mic?
I'm going to be very short. I worked in Montenegro, I worked in Serbia for a long time, like 6 months in Montenegro, twice, that's a year, and once like for 9 months in Serbia. I did not run onto any obstacles. Yeah, there is a working visa that you need to apply to, but finding job was easy if you're qualified. I think the only issue is that people are not working that job correctly, that we lack of professionalism in Balkan. Most of the people are lazy and just like, let me finish that and go home as fast as possible. And if we change that, I think there's like one of the issues. People are very lazy and just like, let me go home as fast as possible. That's it.
Thank you, Jovan. So I'm going back to Kiko.
Thanks, Anelia. Thank you guys for sharing your opinions. As a student in a foreign country, I share some of those experiences as well. So I totally understand what you're saying. Christian, you're coming from the NGO sector, you're a youth worker, you have been working on different Erasmus projects, and you're closely connected with us, the young people, with everything you do in your daily work. What do you think are the benefits for cross-border collaboration, youth mobility in the region, and how initiatives like the Erasmus Plus, for example, can strengthen the knowledge exchange and empower us, the young people?
Thank you very much for inviting me, and thank you for this question. Yeah, I'm working at Croatian Youth Network. As you heard, we are proud partners in this DigiPath project as well, and we are very experienced in Erasmus Plus projects, which give young people a lot of opportunities. But I'm also I'm a young person as well, but also am a user or beneficiary of the Erasmus Plus. So I'm speaking from the first-hand experience in which programs like Erasmus Plus and this kind of platforms are giving you the opportunities to travel, to learn more about other countries and other contexts, which is very, very valuable for your future. And if we see the survey as well, where the lack of funding and lack of money is the issue in a lot of youth mobilities. For example, Erasmus Plus is free of charge for everybody. So if somebody is asking you for money in Erasmus, they're stealing from you. So you can learn, you can get knowledge, get skills, and real life competencies. Practical skills that will be valuable for you at home, at university, but most important at the job market or at your workplace in the future. So these kind of programs are invaluable for experiencing those real life situations and to get to know other countries, other cultures, Maybe economies of Western Balkan have some sort of similar cultural background and experiences, but within the international programs, you can travel to countries in the EU and further, of course, where the culture and people and experiences are very different. And what's most important, you can bring back good practices home, and you can develop it when you find the NGO or some sort of organization that will support you in developing those things in your local communities. And you should always look how you can implement some good practices in your local communities, because we don't need to invent everything all the time, but if we see something that can work for us in local context, we can try at least to find support, not just financial support, just to be clear, but the support from people that are believing in everything that we are believing as well, and see the local priorities and local needs that can boost up the moral, the possibilities in general, especially job opportunities and developing your own possibilities in your local communities, local context. So that's why I believe that this kind of cross-border, cross-sectoral, especially corporations within the countries, within the NGOs, within the direct exchange programs are really, really something that you all should experience. And trust me, when you have your first experience like that, you will not get enough. You will just try to do it more and more. And the great thing in everything that you will meet your peers, because usually those kind of opportunities are for young people from 15 to 30. So you will have opportunity to mix with peers in similar situation and context that can help you and support you.
Thank you. One quick question regarding your own experience. What is the one Erasmus Plus project or whatever you've done that left the biggest mark on you, because you mentioned that it's important that we have to go, it broadens our horizons and everything. What is the one? Can you think of one project and explain it to us, how it transferred to you?
Well, I would say that one of my first experiences in Erasmus Plus mobilities that I encounter on the topic of youth work and youth participation is very meaningful, impactful to my life, because I'm currently working on developing those kind of system in Croatia on national level. My profession is in the youth work and in the youth participation because of the experiences that I got and knowledge that I got. And I had opportunity after 2 or 3 years to be the person that are developing non-formal youth studies in Croatia. This is very big deal, and it's also something that is funded by Erasmus, but it's also something that impacts me, and that's why I wanted to develop that to give the opportunities to young people in Croatia as well. So that's one of my first experiences, I don't know, maybe 7, 8 or 10, even 10 years ago, which in a way direct my life, my career choices in this way, and I'm very proud on what I'm doing right now, and I think it's something that is worth mentioning.
Great, thank you, Christian. With us here today we have also Ruben. Ruben is an entrepreneur. He started really young. He's traveled a lot, seen a lot, and also talked and mentored a lot of people. Ruben, you're now a successful entrepreneur with global career, if we can say like that. And my question to you is, how do you see the opportunities for young people from the region and Western Balkans when it comes to entrepreneurship, and how important is the regional cooperation between the businesses? What do they do for the young people, and what can we learn from them?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. I've been enjoying previous days here in Kruševo and discovering this area of Macedonia that I still haven't visited. Yes, I've been traveling a lot, started at 14, dropped out of high school, so I don't have like formal education, so I haven't been to high school, haven't been to university. Started at 14 with very low paying jobs, then worked my career in languages. So I was doing translation works, then worked for one of the largest corporations. There I stepped to becoming the youngest CEO for one of their branches. Moved to Australia by myself when I was 17, then moved to the UK working in finance and banking, then moved to Spain where I launched my first business, failed tremendously, started the second, third, they were not so successful, but I managed to have one exit. That financed my following venture, was a media group that allowed me to acquire other businesses, participation, and now I created a family office where we do investments, private equity, and we have holding with several businesses that are homegrown, and also we have acquired participation in additional companies. My base for the past 15 years is Montenegro, so I'm very familiar with the region. I travel a lot, Macedonia, Albania, Kosovo, Greece, Bulgaria, Romania, like all of the countries here in the region, and also abroad because I have international businesses, both in South America, North America, Europe, and Asia. So I have a lot of traveling, but I always come back to Montenegro and the Balkans and feel at home. I would say that for young entrepreneurs here in the Balkans, you have a plethora of opportunities. I think it's one of the prime regions for entrepreneurship. And you have the combination that personally I believe it's the key to success, where you have a market that is undeveloped. You have people that are really eager to do something and change. There was an economical switch from socialism to capitalism. And you already have the knowledge and experience in seeing which products, businesses, and methods have been implemented in other regions that were successful. So you can just implement all that knowledge, bottle it, and deploy it here in the Balkans. And I feel like the entrepreneurship community is very close. So it's close-knitted community where everybody is very helpful and they want success for each other. Whether in other region I have experienced more a competitive relationship among entrepreneurs, it's more about flashy successfulness. And here I see that entrepreneurs are much more humble. They prefer to help each other, connect, form regional cooperations, and you would rather have the full community being a success, and this comes down to patriotism as well, rather than having the biggest skyscraper in the city. And I think that's very helpful to develop a successful community and several businesses that can grow together and be successful on an international scale. I see as a challenge the ambition, because a lot of local entrepreneurs have a very narrow-minded vision for their business, and that is limiting their capabilities and possibilities. And I think once we remove this sort of black hat that pushes them down and remove those limitations, they will be able to think on a global scale and try to aim for more. And I think that is already happening. I see a lot of international entrepreneurs that are creating their bases here in the Balkan region. And I think having a overhead, so salaries, cost of like infrastructure, warehousing, being very low, infrastructure is improving, so connectivity to other markets in Europe improving a lot, and the ability of having a longer runaway helps businesses become successful, even though the knowledge is still not on par with other markets. So I think overall, this is probably one of the best regions to start a business. And I would encourage more people to try it as an experience. It doesn't matter if you fail. The amount of knowledge and experience you will gather will be worth a lifetime. And overall, I think DigiPath and regional cooperation and platforms that connect businesses, connect job seekers to opportunities, academia with NGOs, and create this community is something that is really needed, because there are so many people doing good in the region, but they're doing it independently. And I think if we can create a system where 1 + 1 means 10 and not 2, that deploys a lot more good in the system, a lot more opportunities, a lot more ideas, and the settings like this one where we can exchange knowledge, ideas, cooperation for teams. Yesterday I experienced a fireside chat where 3 girls from 3 different countries that have never met each other have been working the whole summer for a project, and now they have a very concrete idea. They are deploying a business together, and they just met 2 days ago here physically. So I think the digital transformation that is happening in the Balkans will empower a lot of people to do more. And I think we should foster it, help more people to do the same, and showcase bright cases in order for others to take inspiration and be more vocal about the positive that is happening here in the region. I'm also a member of the Union of Young Entrepreneurs in Montenegro. I'm part of their international board. And what we have done over the past 7 years is really remarkable for local entrepreneurs. And it's starting to be much more than just Montenegro. We are creating an alliance for the Balkans. We have already onboarded Serbia and Macedonia. Now in Macedonia there is a youth organization for entrepreneurs. We do a lot of international work and cooperation with also the US, with China. We received international awards. And that's because what is possible down here is very hard to implement elsewhere. And also the connectivity and the fact that the market is so small, the impact you can have is much more enlarged. So I think overall, I love the Balkans, and I think you should be much more proud and much more vocal of your region. And I hear a lot of negativity, but it's not reasonable to be so negative about our region, because the amount of opportunities are infinite down here.
Thank you. You mentioned something interesting about the in the region that we have a lot of young people that are not that collectively making impact, but more individually or for some organization. And we have nice examples such as the DigiPath platform that is trying to connect everybody. Do you think that the young people that would like to get connected or get support have the structure of support? And we have included the businesses, the academia, the entrepreneurs, because you mentioned that entrepreneurs are having a nice community together. But how is it in the region from the business side? Are they supported? Are they from the academia? Do they have enough opportunities in schools to learn about the entrepreneurship and get the support to start? Because you mentioned that it's important to just get started.
Absolutely. I think there is not enough support, there is not enough knowledge, there is not enough networks, there is not enough platforms, there is not enough in general. But I think rather than saying there is not enough, taking responsibility and being the first to start creates much more impact rather than just waiting around and for a magical solution. And I've heard, for example, yesterday that I'm trying to find myself. And rather than finding yourself, craft yourself. Build yourself into a network. Meet people that could be peers. Meet academic partners. Meet NGOs. Create networks. Be the change you want to see in the market. Don't just wait around and expect other people to basically take care of your needs. Just create it yourself. And there is nothing preventing you from doing so. So I think we need to take much more responsibility in our hand and trying to create our own path. I came to Montenegro by myself. I didn't know anybody. I just loved the place. I wanted to live by the beach. And I found that Montenegro was the ideal place. And now I have a network of probably 2,000-3,000 people in Montenegro that are business owners, that are in NGO space, academic institutions. They are all with a very positive mindset. So I would also say connect with people that want to have a similar future like you. Because then you will turn this negativity into perspective, future, opportunities, rather than being pushed down by almost Soviet reminiscence that we had a bright future before and everything has been going downhill ever since. We can still hold all the great things that socialism brought, for example, the strength of the community, the safetiness, and the willingness to be very proud of the place where we are, but at the same time adopt a few concepts from capitalism, from networking, from being with our peers. I think that mix can be extremely powerful.
Thank you very much, Ruben. Now I would like to pass the mic to our co-moderator again, Anelia.
Thank you, Kiko. So I will come closer. I hope that it's fine with the cameras, but it's too far away. How do you feel? Would you like something to share about your own experiences? Or maybe about the positivity and negativity? Because usually there is always some foreigner that's saying that our region is the best place, the place with the most opportunities, and we are always more on the negative side. I mean, me personally as well. So how do you feel about it? How do you see the opportunities in the region? Do you see the opportunities in the region? Or, okay, I will make a question. Would you like to proceed with your employment or with your master degrees in some of the countries in the region, in the Balkan region? Who would like to proceed with studies or employment? 2, 3, 4, 5 people. Who would like to go to the Western European countries? Germany, Netherlands, France? Okay, so first, those who would like to stay in the region, why? What kind of opportunities do you see? Jeanette, I will pass you the mic if someone wants to speak. No one wants to share? Okay.
Hello everyone, I'm Kimi from Kosovo. And it doesn't matter if I will stay in the region or I will go in Western Balkans to finish my studies. The first thing that comes in my mind is to see opportunity to contribute to my country. Because if we leave to other regions or to Western Balkan country, I will go with a vision that I will come back and work to my country. And right now in Kosovo we have opportunities as well. We as youth, we have regional youth cooperation office that it offers a lot of opportunity to exchange studies and also exchange programs and also to attend an event. We also have an event, Youth Entrepreneurship of Europe in Paris and Berlin next month, in November, sorry. And we should see a lot of things like opportunities, not discourage and negative. If you want something, you will work for it. Me personally, I started last year with a small initiative, and right now I'm open on my own social enterprise to gather youth talents and youth artists in Kosovo to promote the art, and also beyond of it. And I'm looking forward to cooperate with another country as well to exchange youth talents. For example, I have a conversation with a friend in Germany that we can do an exchange for 5 youth in Germany and 5 Germans to Kosovo, and we can cooperate. We should find an opportunity to do that, not to wait, and also to have a pessimist mind.
Thank you. And those who would like to go to the Western European countries? Klady?
Hello everyone, my name is Klady, I'm from Albania. So now I enter my last year of bachelor and my plan is to go abroad for my master. The reason is because the level of education and quality in the Western Balkans is the worst one in Europe. Like, it's not like in Western Europe, the curriculum is not that updated or parallel, even if it is parallel, the quality of education or the professors is not the one that I would like to spend my years being educated by. And especially the fact that in Western Europe, you know, there is a different standard. And you can get a better education, and then you can come to your country and bring what you were taught abroad and bring the experience too. But the thing is, I want to invest myself in myself first, and then by building myself, I can invest in my country. So yeah, thank you.
On the polling, it was that the lack of information. It's one of the biggest barrier. Was the conclusion according to your votes? So what kind of information do you miss? What kind of, because I also agree that we don't have enough information for our neighboring country and for our region. For example, I don't know anything, very few things about the universities in Albania. Then I don't know if I want to move to Serbia, for example, to work. I don't know where to find opportunities, job opportunities. I only know for seasonal work in Croatia because there is a lot of commercials each summer in North Macedonia promoting the seasonal work in Croatia. And when we were with Matea on a study visit in Croatia, we found out that in 2023, 3,000 people from North Macedonia got a working visa, seasonal working visa, and went to Croatia to work. But it's still, we are lacking of information because now we are doing the research and we are all struggling, I think all partners, to find out how many people went to or exchanged between the countries, how many people are employed, Macedonians in Croatia or vice versa, how many people are going to the university. So we are speculating with numbers. So yes, the lack of information is something that we miss a lot, and maybe someone wants to share if has any of the information. Christina?
Hi, okay. I'm Christina. So maybe I will not talk about the Balkans that much because I'm not yet now in the Balkans, but in general I think...
You moved to Germany as well.
Yes, so I moved to Germany, I moved to Slovenia, so I always go norther. I don't know why, maybe I will go back now. But anyways, so I think we have too much information and they're everywhere. So if I was part of Erasmus for Young Entrepreneurs, but I got to know about the project from someone somewhere who told me that I can apply for it and then go to Munich for an internship for 6 months and so on. But searching on my own, it's difficult. And also, like, if I want to see a university online and see what they offer, I have to go to that specific university. I have to know the name and things like that. So it's very difficult to have organized information about anywhere, even in European Union, because there are platforms that they offer. For example, yes, you can create your CV, you can find an exchange, you can find job and stuff like that, but they're so messy and all over that at the end, as a young person who doesn't have that much time, or I have time, but I just don't want to waste that much time on reading stuff. It's very difficult to find information. So I don't think it's the problem here in the Balkans, but I think overall. So that's why something as DigiPath, I believe it will hopefully help people to have all of the information they need in one platform in an easy way that will not be too complicated to go through and find the information you want very fast. So yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's fine. We are coming back on stage. So thank you guys for all your shared opinions. As a young person, I'd agree that when I was planning on moving to Slovenia for studies, there was a lot of information, but it was on different sites. And if you wanted to grasp everything, at the end probably you will end up with nothing as useful. So one platform as this one that would unite everything, have a structure and helps to easily access information, then it would be easier for you to be mobile, not just to find. Yes, please.
Yeah. So we talk a lot about responsibilities that are on young people, and I believe it's majority of the responsibility are on ourselves that we seek for the opportunities. But I don't want for all of us to go outside this room not talking about how we should also see the responsibility from decision makers and the government to seek to promote those opportunities and to set the stage and policies into giving opportunities to young people. And to filter out the information on the internet, and we all should take not to take for granted that they are in a way representing us, and we are expecting from them to give to make infrastructure in which we can develop either entrepreneurship opportunities, either youth mobilities, or something else. So if we don't mix that up, then we have this kind of situation. So we need to talk about the government and the decision makers' responsibility as well in all of this, or at least think about it.
Yeah, that's quite important, because also the high schools, for example, they are also part of the whole structure. And they are a key role for the youngsters, for the young students, high school students, to get to know about mobility opportunities.
Yeah.
First thing we learn is from our teachers and professors, and the university maybe for research programs and everything.
And as professor told, she is, as individual, very invest in local, in giving practical skills. But it's up to person. The system is not pushing your colleagues or any other systems to give such opportunities for community-based, socially, I don't know how to say it, but socially acceptable and socially useful skills and competencies that you should teach, either in architecture or in sociology or in physics or any other field of work, right?
Exactly, exactly. Do you have any other comment, maybe from the other panelists, that you would like to join this discussion about the information and the importance of the governments when it comes to spreading the information and getting in touch with the youngsters?
Yeah, sure. I agree that it's not only responsibility of the individuals. There is a lot of players, and alone we cannot make everything happen. But in my experience, for example, with the union, by pulling together enough people, then your voice is being heard. And then, absolutely, and then you can take your place in those institutions and basically push an agenda that benefits you and your peers. So I fully agree, but I think it still starts from oneself,
of course,
in order to drive the change. But I 100% agree with your comment. And the second comment was about going abroad. I think that question is very interesting, and I always hear the divide between I want to go abroad, I want to stay, and it always feels like if you stay, you're patriotic, if you leave, you want to get rid of your country. But I think it's not so black and white.
Of course.
And from my personal experience, leaving my country, I was born in Italy and lived in Italy for 15 years. Leaving Italy allowed me to have a tabula rasa, where I had to make a new friends group, decide what I wanted to be, what my career should be, where to work, where to live, what to do. And I think that's a path to self-discovery. So I think it's a very important element. The Greek, for example, had a period where for 6 months you need to leave your home in order to be trained to become a human in society. And I think leaving your country, you're basically untying yourself from the social tissue, and you have this decision in front of you to be uncomfortable and to decide, who do I want to be? What is my impact in the world? Where is my path? Who I want to surround myself with? Because a lot of the time we are tied by our connections, childhood friends, our neighborhood, our family, and it doesn't allow us to take the following step without having this social pressure. So I think going abroad, trying different career paths and so on, failing, succeeding, doing whatever, allows you to discover who you want to be. And then you always have the choice to come back with all the knowledge, with all the experience, and with your formed self to make a true impact. And I think it's a very good way of developing as a human being.
Exactly, I totally agree. Going abroad makes you more responsible for yourself, if nothing else. You start taking care of whom you meet, with whom you talk. You learn how to turn on the washing machine. Everything it comes to you. At the end of the day, that's truth.
Real
That's
life
true.
skills.
Real life
Real
skills,
life
and
skills.
then you can apply that wherever you are. Whether you go back, you help develop your own country. You ask for the responsibility of the government to help as well. It are crucial skills that you get at the end of the day. Nice. Any other comments? Okay, thank you. Now I would like to invite Dr. Francesco. You've been deeply involved in different organizations and also in the UN and beyond. And the question is, how can we create a stronger connection, a stronger link between the young entrepreneurs, the researchers, the policymakers, the all stakeholders, ourselves, young people, to ensure that we have great youth-led initiatives?
Great, thank you. It's a great topic and great contributions until now. So thank you very much for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here. And I want to start with saying something else. People are not trees. We can move. We should move. And even if trees have roots and they don't move, they actually move the orientation of the branches towards the better sunshine and so on. So why do we need to move? Well, we always need to grow, as you said before. Going abroad is a growing experience, and you should look for ways to innovate, to skill yourself, upskill yourself, always looking for a new challenge. And of course, it doesn't mean that you are a traitor. I don't feel like a traitor. I'm Italian. I'm also on the road since almost 20 years now, being in the UK, in Germany, UK, Germany, US, Germany. I don't know in the future, we will see. But of course, if you want to change things in your country, think about, do I have more possibilities with a good education, with good skills, or with not so good education, not so good skills? And I'm not saying that in your country you don't have this, it depends. Sometimes it's not that you don't have this, it's just the experience that you get moving abroad, and that was in my case. And going back to the washing machine, actually my washing machine is currently broken and I have to fix it, but this is another topic.
Yeah, new skills.
Now, UN, well, we have a UNDP banner there, and UN seems to be something very abstract. And well, it is abstract to some extent, but it's also real. Sometimes it's a place where people say, well, what is the goal of the UN? It's a place where people talk, and there is nothing coming out. Well, it's a good thing that people talk, actually, that's the very first basis. In order to do something, you need to talk to each other. And if people don't talk, you can't do anything. So at least there is a place where people can talk, even representatives of countries in war with each other, they talk to each other sometimes. And that is, I think, is a great value of the UN system. Now, I've been active in the UN system in different roles, mostly through youth organizations. I started through the European Youth Forum, through international NGO, which were ECOSOC accredited. So I've been participating first and then co-organizing the ECOSOC Youth Forum in New York, participating in the UN Ocean Conference, UN Science Technology Innovation Forum. In a couple of weeks, I will be in Sweden for a board meeting of Congo, which is the Conference of Non-Governmental Organizations of the United Nations. And there is a lot of space in the UN for young people, lots of ways to engage. Now there is a lot of emphasis on the UN SDG. Do you know what are the UN SDG? Who knows who are the UN SDG? Okay, Sustainable Development Goals. So there are 17 goals for the Agenda 2030 on try to be more sustainable, from eradicating poverty, clean water for everybody, up to climate change. And there are aspects in there which are very linked to the topic of this panel. We talk about economic empowerment. The SDG 8 is on economic growth, for example. And the youth is one of the major stakeholders in the UN to engage on all these topics. So there is a specific structure that is the major group children and youth that is actually the voice of children and youth at the UN. That's very important. There are other ways through structured youth organization. As I said, I was active within the European Youth Forum. Well, the European Youth Forum is an organization of organizations. So you need to be either in an international NGO in Europe, and Europe is not European Union, so it is really broad in broad sense. Or National Youth Council. So there are active people in the Balkans active in the European Youth Forum. It would be nice to have even more in that. And that is at the UN in New York, but it's also in local governments, in industry. You see more and more youth is the future. We need to engage youth. We need to talk to youth. So youth is always in the spotlight. But you need to be careful. These are sometimes good things, but sometimes are also bad things. Why I'm saying there are bad things? Well, if people say youth is the future, is not valuing you as you are now. And that is very important. You need to reply every time you hear that, say, no, youth is the present. I have skills, I have competencies, I have ideas, I have a vision, I am the present, I'm not the future. And this is very important because very often they just take a random people and say, a random young person and say, well, we have consulted youth, we have consulted youth. This is the voice of youth. Well, this is the voice of one person. Be careful not to be misused in this way, like the pet of the adults. That they say, oh, we have a young person on the panel, so we tick the box and it's fine. This is one of the worst things that happen in many different levels. It's something that I've been always fighting. Don't treat young people as pets, because what happens is as soon as a young person starts to have some ideas that maybe are a little bit innovative or different, you see a shift in the sentiment in the room and say, oh, no, your role is not to do that. Your role is to just smile and be pet and smile. And we say we have a young person here. You can't come out with your own ideas. That is something you have to fight, and it's a hard fight because you need to have a role which is not the role that people want you to have. And that is at all levels, so at the UN, in local governments, in organizations, and so on. Then how can we unite all these different stakeholders? I mean, we have young associations, youth associations, we have entrepreneurs, we have policymakers. Well, first, there is a value that you need to find. So you can't unite people if there is no value that those individual stakeholders can find. So you can't say, well, let's create a new platform where everybody is in. Yeah, okay, it's fine, but what is the value for this specific stakeholder? What is the value for that other specific stakeholder? You can't just say, it's nice to be together, it's nice to be in this platform. They need to find the value to be there. And that's very important. And then there are specific instruments as well. We talked a little bit about Erasmus. And there are instruments in Erasmus Plus where you can bring those people together. So policymakers, young people, entrepreneur associations. So for example, there is Key Action 3 in Erasmus Plus, which is specific on policy making, on structured dialogue. And just as a random idea that came to me listening to the discussion, it might be one of the stupidest ideas. I was really surprised when I hear that you need working visa to move from one country to the neighboring country. And so I was really surprised. I mean, I'm Italian, so I lived in Schengen area with free movement. The only time I really had to do a lot of paperwork for the States, it was a nightmare, so many forms. I was thinking, oh, thank God I'm in Europe, but actually it's not Europe, it's Schengen. Well, just as an idea, I mean, there is Key Action 3 on structured dialogue, on dialogue between policymakers and youth association. Why don't we create a project on try to have easier access or mobility for young people between neighboring countries? It might be complicated if you think about Schengen, because then it's a little bit more bigger governance areas, of Croatia, for example. I mean, Serbia and Bosnia, if they need working visa and paperwork just to move from one place to another that is 20 kilometers away, that's appalling. We should change it. We should be bold and say, well, we want to find a way to be proactive. And maybe you find policymakers in your country, in your town, in your nation, they might be interested in doing something like that. And you would find interest from the employers, from the industry, because of course they have an interest to have easy access to the workforce. And you will find interest in the NGO, in the youth associations, because they want to get people together, we want to grow, we want to learn, we want to experience different countries. So maybe that is just an example of funding a topic where you can find a value for the different stakeholders, rather than let's just launch a new platform. Let's work concretely on something. And that goes also on the entrepreneurship aspects. In universities, we like business plans a lot. We like structure. But actually, the most important thing for me in entrepreneurship is your first client. What is the value you are creating? What is the pain you are solving? You can have the best business plan in the world, but if you don't solve anybody's problem, then it's a kind of an empty business plan. You're not going to do anything with that. So like in this case, we want to find a structure, a mechanism to bring people together. Let's find a topic, and I launched the working visa, for example, but it can be any other topic where any different stakeholder can find a value. My last contribution is on the poll. What are the barriers? How do we value the different educational avenues like digital skills, experience, education, mobilities? I was one that I didn't vote for university, even though I'm a professor. That doesn't mean I don't value university education. I do value it a lot, actually. I just give it a little bit for granted, in the sense that it's not something that is going to make yourself unique with respect to another person. It's not your degree itself. It's all the activities you have been doing, all the extracurricular activities, all the mobility activities. So the first thing I look when I'm selecting for PhD students or for postdocs is, okay, what are the activities that these people have been doing? It's not only the certificates, it's what are the projects they led? Do they have experience in living in a different country? And experience in living in a different country is not because the original country is shit and they need to go to a better country. It's just the experience of living in a different place that shows that they have the maturity, for example, to live in a different country when they come to my lab. That's something that I value a lot. And I'm not saying that a university degree is fundamental. We have an excellent example here of somebody that actually even didn't finish the high school and is very successful, is employing a lot of people around. There's a network of thousands of people. And of course he's a role model. But how many people are that successful? So the percentage of people that drops out that are that successful is not as high as the people who are successful with their degree. In one of the work route that we had on barriers, one of the point was master degree. So many employers want certificates. So it's not something that I say as a professor. It's something that you say that you find in the reality. Many employers will still look at your certificates. You need to have that, unless you can be bright in many different ways. But the standard way is to have it. It's like when you are ill, you go to a doctor. You can have, of course, a very shitty doctor, and you can have the grandma receipt that works fine. But on average, in general, you would want to go to a doctor who has a degree, not to a doctor that doesn't, on average. Of course, there are always exceptions, individual exceptions. But try to differentiate yourself. I voted, for example, for mobility because it's something that I value a lot. If I need to find somebody for my lab that is in a different country, I need to know that I'm not gambling too much, that the person has some experience, has been abroad, and is an adult, is not a kid. So it can be something else. It can be extracurricular activities, it can be volunteering, but try to find an edge where you can say, well, this is a uniqueness of my personality. I can be successful, I can thrive. And in that, I also agree with my colleague in the university that we have to update our curricula all the time. It's something I try to do. I'm the program chair for the bachelor program in robotics. I try to talk to students to see what they want to learn. I try to talk to alumni to see what they found in the labor market, what is important. I try to talk with the industrial partners when we have projects together to see what are the skills they need. And I'm changing the program every time. And of course, it's work, but it's necessary work to make the program better for the students to succeed. Thanks.
Great, thank you for the explanation. And I'd say that mobility is important, and maybe we have different opportunities, maybe we lack information. But also we have a lot of information, also we have a lot of opportunities, but sometimes the problem is not knowing that we have them. And that's why the promotion and how to get to the young people, how to reach them, we were discussing previously on breakfast that if we are a region and we have different culture, different opinion, different views, different languages, and for different groups you need to have different approaches. And that's also together today why we have Sanya, which she works in peer at the Anna and Divas Foundation. And for the past few years, you've been working on the employment portal for people, for young with disabilities. From your experience as a peer manager, what would you say, what are the key tools and approaches that we can take in order to make this platform close to the young people for them to use it? Because if we make something that nobody wants to use, well, why do we make it? What would you say? What is your experience?
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. I'm very glad that I have the opportunity to share this experience that I have been working on for past few years. Maybe someone of you know that we have been developed that platform for employment of persons with disability. You were our guest in Belgrade. I think someone of you were in Belgrade when you were in Youth with Disabilities Forum, who is our partner on this project. So you could hear a little bit more about how they created that platform and how they put it in the ether, how can we say, and how does it function. As Dan was talking in the beginning, he was talking about the path of creating a platform and the hard way and barriers that he was dealing. But when you finish Dan's work, I have to say you are at the beginning. You are still need to put it in the air, so to promote it, to give it to your target audience, to leverage to some levels. So you have to start and create a good promotion strategy, how to connect all things in one and how to promote your platform. So what is the main things you have to do? You have to set your communication goals. So whether to whom you want to communicate, what are you going to communicate? You want to communicate an employment, you want to communicate some courses, trainings, international, maybe some study visits or something. I don't really know what DigiPath is going to have all inside. So you have to see what is your goals and what you are going to promote. You have to set your target audiences. So in this specific way, you have young people, you have unemployed people, you have some students, you have employers, you have some mentors or stakeholders, public sector, civil sector, media. So that's all your target audiences, and you have to find, first of all, key messages that you are going to deliver to them, to every target audience that you are going to address, and communication channels and communication tools, because all these three things are different for every target audience that you are going to address. So when we're talking about some communication tools, you all know about digital media, so websites, social networks of organization, hashtags, quotes, some other tools. Communication formats, you have different formats like texts, posts, videos. So most important is to know what communication channel is going to be used for your target audience. So in Anelia, she was mentioning the only she knows about seasonal work about in Croatia because she saw commercial about that. She doesn't know any other opportunity. What is important in communication is to localize your campaigns, to address on local language, maybe to include some local hashtags, local influencers, local events. So people are more connected when they find something familiar with them, to drag them attention to that. So it is important to leverage regional cultural nuances. What is most important thing also is the intercultural cooperation among all sectors in the country. So you have to have good intersectoral cooperation with civil sector, public sector, media, wide public. You have to have good cooperation. That is one thing that we have been doing on this project, because you have to address to your target audience through every single of them. So you have to have advocacy campaigns. You have to have different communication. How can I say, channel mixes to different target audience. So this strategy that you have to develop should include every communication channel that is, how I can say, existable to you. So maybe for youth, we can say that digitalization brought more of digital communication. More percent of people are on the digital communication, but we would not agree with that, because traditional media still stays one of the most important communication channels to address for the wider audience and all our target groups. How can we make this more accessible for young people? We have to make them interest. You have to take some tools that are interest to younger people. You have to include some influencers. You have to go with their interests to promote your platform. So what we did here when we were promoting, that was most, how can I say, the show most result. It was human interest stories. It is third year of our project, so now we have beneficiaries, someone that have been using platforms, that have been using our services and everything, and they became our ambassadors. So they tell their stories and they send a message. You can, I did it, you can do it also, so come apply, come see our courses, come, we can empower you. So just good and successful stories for the people that have already did that. That is the best promotion for your DigiPath, future DigiPath. So I don't know if I have answered for that question. I can talk more, but maybe not.
Yeah, also, if I may add, yesterday we had an example where we listened to a story of 3 young women making their platform also interesting. If we are planning on making the platform, it also has to be interesting, it also has to be interactive, and also, as you mentioned, communicating through social media and where we are present right now. So that's sure.
Yes, I think in this for this topic, you have yes, the reach is very important, but I think the engagement is more important thing that you have to chase. So you have to find a way to engage your target audience and to make them interested in the what you offer. Maybe what we discovered is that equal importance. If you give someone financial empower or give some opportunity for job, you have to give him something else like mentoring support, some training, psychosocial development. It is what young people need today, not just financial support or to give him what they need. They need more support to develop their business plan or what they wanted. Yeah.
Thank you, Ms. Sanya. I'll pass now the mic to our co-moderator, Anelia, and then we'll have a round of questions that you can ask the panelists, and we'll wrap it up.
Thank you, Kiko. This round will be as brief as possible in order to have a Q&A session. So I want you to shout out loud, or no, I won't give the mic, which social media channel you think it will be the most appropriate when we're gonna launch the DigiPath platform? TikTok, LinkedIn? LinkedIn.
LinkedIn again.
Instagram? So LinkedIn, raise your hands for LinkedIn. TikTok, Tariq, you will do the videos for TikTok. Instagram? Okay, and usually when you look for a job, I assume you go to LinkedIn. Nice, okay, and then I will follow up on Francesco. Yes, Dejan, you can give your comments as well after we finish, and then I will go to, I will follow up on Francesco, what he asked. What will be the main value of this platform? How do you see this platform, and what do you think is the main value? I think me and Biljana, we know what's our value here, but I want to listen to you. In a period of 1 year from now, the platform will be launched. So what do you think should be the value of this platform? Your value. Your. The other mics are easier. Shout. Yeah, you can shout again. Access to information. Inclusion. Cooperation. Opportunity. Transparency. Diversity. Okay. Movement. Biljana? Maya, like a partners now, with the partners in the project, what do you think? Better region. Okay. So, thank you for being part of this part of the real talk, and now I will give the floor back to Kiko. Maybe some of the panelists speakers has a comment, and then we're gonna start with the Q&A session.
Yeah, if you have any comments you can share regarding the value, regarding what we discussed now, and then we'll collect a few questions from the audience. You can write it down, remember it, whatever works for you. We'll answer it, and we'll wrap the session up with any last comments that you may have.
Yeah, sure. I wanted to pick up on what Francesco was mentioning about education. Even though I don't have formal education, high school, university, and so on, when I speak with I have 4 children. So my eldest is now turning 10, and he's starting to think what I will be doing in the future. He wants to be an entrepreneur, an Olympian, he swims. So he's on the path of saying, oh, in 3-4 years I can quit school and start my business. And I'm like, no, that's not the example you should follow. It's actually much, much harder. And the amount of education and knowledge that you need to absorb and consume by yourself is actually much more, because you don't have a mentor and guidance of what should be the curriculum in order to learn what you really want. So I think the educational element, the mental element is extremely important. And if you decide not to go to university, you should take it upon yourself. So also, again, responsibility to become more diverse, like you mentioned previously, and collect as much knowledge, information, practice, theory in order to be very skilled in the workplace. Otherwise, you will not have any type of opportunity, and you will end up in a path where you're forced into something rather than having the free choice to basically develop yourself into each career. As I mentioned previously, I was in the finance industry, I worked in the smart city industry, translation business, but for each step, I had to have 3-4 months in which I was diving into the industry, connecting with leaders, basically increasing my knowledge in order to be able to catch those opportunities. When they say luck is when preparation meets basically opportunity, that's luck. So a lot of education and knowledge is required in order to be successful in what you want to do in your lifetime. And I think also the privilege of having professors and classmates that are also going through the same path and evolving with time and collecting knowledge from the industry also helps you to have a much faster absorption and being able to create this networking effect that happens very often, especially in more industry-based university, where there is an outcome where you could start a business or apply together for jobs, start ideas. For example, in robotics, where several engineers then create a prototype together. For example, in my smart city business in Brazil, we have a very close cooperation with Unicamp, which is the leading engineering faculty of South America. And there what we have found out is that throughout the 3 to 5 years of university studies, a lot of the students take the opportunity not just to follow the curriculum, but also spend extra time outside of the classrooms and form teams that are actually trying to create prototypes, invest their time to find solutions, connect with businesses, and try to do their own independent researches. So for me, education is not just about the knowledge, it's also about the networking effect and collection of experience. So I wanted just to remark, because I think education is a vital element, a pillar of our society, and it's what differentiates us from animals, basically.
Great, thank you, Ruben, for your comments. Okay, guys, we leave the floor to you. If you have any questions for our panelists regarding the unemployment, regarding the possibilities of mobility, regarding the platform itself, feel free to stand up, ask, and interact.
Hi, my name is Olivia. I have so many thoughts in my mind during this session, so I hope I'm really coherent. During all this time, I was thinking about my youth back home, and I have this feeling that during the entire session today, yesterday, we were talking mainly about youth with studying opportunities, leaving the country opportunities, but I think it's common in the entire Balkans that more youth don't have the opportunity to finish quality education, don't have families to support them financially and to take chances. And my question is also maybe one suggestion for the platform or all the other platforms that you use. Back home, in my organization, we have 2 platforms that we developed with a private company to support youth get employed faster. And both of them have all the algorithms to find good jobs, but they also have the human touch that Mrs. Bulk was talking yesterday. You cannot apply to a job if you don't go through vocational counseling. You apply, so you can do your CV in the platform, but a vocational counselor helps you do the right, put the right moves. You go to university, maybe you decided that I want to be an architect, but you go with a vocational counselor to teach you or to work together which are your opportunities in Romania, in Serbia, in America. And I was thinking maybe how it is considered in your countries or in your area of interest, this human touch, the importance of vocational counseling. I felt a little bit that we put the entire responsibility on the youth. So you choose your path, you choose your career, we give you all these platforms, but it's like maybe you're not motivated, as my colleague said. So just a thought.
Okay, thank you for your question. Could you share, please, for whom do you ask the question? Do you have a targeted person that you would like? to get an answer?
Yes, it can also be Mr.
Mr. Dejan?
Yes,
Okay.
and also the Miss.
Saya?
Exactly.
Okay, thank you. Okay, any other questions? Okay, we have one question there. I just wanted to share with you that we would prolong the session for 10 minutes because we started a bit later. So 10 more minutes from the session, then we'll also prolong the pause as well.
I will be shorter than 10 minutes for sure. So first of all, thank you, dear guests, for really inspiring contributions. And let me give you maybe more concrete question about the platform itself regarding the content. I am wondering what will be the main criteria for you to include a mobility or job opportunity to this platform, because of course I have a vision that maybe there will really be one place where we could find all diverse options. So how will you decide what to include and what not? Thanks.
Anelia would like to. You would take the question, or you would like to give it to the organizers and project coordinators, or one of the panelists? Dan. Okay, Dan. One more question for you. Okay. Any other questions, guys? Okay, we have one more back there.
Hello everyone, Georgia from Serbia. I'm working on DigiPath project and we are creating the platform, and for me it's interesting the practical things. Maybe a question for Sanja and for Dan, how you involve the companies in promoting the platform, not to offer the jobs and opportunities for the people, but how we can use the companies' resources, companies that we are cooperating for the promoting of the platform and what we offer.
Okay, maybe one more question if we have from the audience, and then we'll go with the answers. Any other questions? No. One more back there. Okay, last question.
Yes, hello, Goraz from Slovenia. Just a quick question for the DigiPath. I heard you expanded the languages used, but as you said, Slovenia is also part of the country, so did you also consider expanding it to the Slovenian language? Question for Dejan, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Anelia would like to add something. Yeah.
No, yes, I will just clarify the confusion. So basically, as I mentioned, the partners, and Georgia here raised the hand. We have Christian, Matea here, me and Biljana. So we are Christina, sorry, Uroš, I'm sorry. It's okay. So we are the people that are in the partnership consortia that we're gonna develop the platform. So after the answer, we're gonna also give you all this answer. And yes, we are planning to have Slovenian content, Slovenian language, translation in Slovenian. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine to clarify things, because the speakers are here to give their perspective, their experience, and how we can use their experience to make the platform bigger and better. And as Anelia mentioned, and as we talked in the beginning, there are different partners from these countries that organize and are funded by the Erasmus Plus Fund. So thank you for the help. Okay, to the panelists who would like to answer, you can start. Maybe Dan, because you had a few questions.
Yeah, thank you for the questions. I will start from the last question that we got from Georgia there. How you use the companies to promote the platform. It's very interesting. You cannot use the companies. So they should be the users of the platform. And they should find something which is in it for them. So practically, if you want to, so this is a sort of a sales and marketing story. So you need to meet the companies, and they need to find something which is in the platform for them. Yes, you can use I would name it sponsors or people who will promote it that are working or in the companies or are influential in the countries. So this is, I would say, the best marketing way. So practically, you cannot make the companies use it because you are not in power to make it. But somehow, I would say it's more applicable if you show them that it's something valuable for them, and then they will use it, because the companies are, the world is not a very nice place, and the companies are struggling in competitive markets, and they care about their ground and their yards and their profits and their incomes. So practically, making them promote something like this will not be an easy task. But I would like to encourage you to use more influential people in promoting what you offer for them, and that is how you will. The second moment is word of mouth. If 1, 2, 3, 4 companies find something interesting for them, use it, and then use it to spread the word. So this is somehow the answer to this. Here I had 2 very similar questions, although one was more concrete and one was, I would say, more vague. In regards to being a human being, so yes, people are not machines. And putting some people in some digital tool seems like you are adding a number to something, but it's not like that. So practically, any digital platform should be a place where people will meet other people. So it's no longer B2B or B2C. It's more human to human. And once the human gets in interaction, this is where humanity starts and the job of the platform ends. And practically, we need to train the users of our platforms in one or the other side, or both in people and companies, to use it in a proper way. So to put clear, I would say not guidance, but more values in how we treat the people that are our users. And practically, from the business where I come, our core value, if you go to our site, is people in front of everything. So the people are the most important. So whether they can afford or cannot afford education, at the end we have here a great example. And it's really stunning for me, because I thought in my life that I can educate myself in order to have an easier life. And when I found a job in an international company, great salary, great development opportunities, great everything, and I worked there for 15 years. And then at the age of 40, and you all think because you're young, that's so far away. It's not. It happened to me like 6 years ago. And I decided, hey, that's no longer life for me in a bubble. I was living in a comfort zone, and now for the last 6 years, I'm completely out of the comfort zone and living in a roller coaster. So guys, as Ruben mentioned, it's up to you to decide. Yes, we have a society. Yes, we have companies. Yes, we have governments and institutions and NGOs, and they will all be, in a way, here to support us or not so much. But this is not important. You, each individual, you are important. You're upskilling, you're reskilling. And we talked to Christian a few days ago. So luck, for me, this is something that I've learned in my life, is labor under correct knowledge. So people, don't be afraid to start learning. Don't be afraid to start working very early in your life. So it's not only projects. I'm talking also about real money. We all have to live from something. So start learning, working, and earning. By working, you will start learning much more than just on universities. So apply that knowledge. Don't be afraid. Don't be scary to say, look, I finished my university, but I'm not so confident. Do I know everything to start working? Hey, don't be afraid. And don't be afraid to start low. Starting low does not offend you. Starting low will make you stronger. So I've started as a merchandiser putting stickers on displays. And I thought, hey, this is very low for somebody that graduated economic university marketing. It's not low. This is just a path. And don't be afraid. So I hope I answered the questions.
Thank you, Dan. It was inspiring speech as well for me, so thank you. Yeah, please.
Maybe I could also answer on the first question that Dan answered, that Georgia was asking to two of us for including companies. I think he meant to say, how can we include them in the promotional campaign? But I will try to answer on both questions. How to interest the companies to be the part of your platform, and how to include them in your campaigns. Showing on our platform that is for empowerment of persons with disabilities, we have two target audience. So on one side we have persons with disabilities who can post their CVs and that are searching for jobs, and with the other side we have companies that announce their working place on the platform. What is the thing that you have to do? You have to communicate to the company and to say, what are you getting if you are with us? So what if you are a part of the platform, what's in it for you? In this special case on my project, the company is getting good and motivated worker, some benefits from the government for employment and for how can I say, not paying some penalties if you have, we have some law that say if you have 20 employers, you have to have one person with disability, so you have some something for that. You are good for CSR, you are making good image of your company, you are creating your company that is most important, like inclusive on the labor market. So you are very acceptable for other job seekers to choose you as his employer. So you have to show companies the benefits they're getting if they're part of the platform. Maybe this my group is core group, but I think this applies to all target groups. The other question was how to make them to be your to be the part of your campaign on to promote your DigiPath or your portal or platform. Make them. I was talking about how we made our beneficiaries our ambassadors. So you can do the same thing with your companies. As I was talking, every promotion, free promotion, is good promotion for company marketing team and PR. So you just have to find a good communication tool and channel that the company would be interested in. They have their own procedures, they cannot do everything, something they can do, something they cannot do. They can always be the part of your digital strategy. They like to go together with somebody. You can make some collaboration posts, they can give you some free media space they have in some, I don't know, maybe magazines or on TV shows or something they have already paid. Maybe you can do it together, some interviews or something like that. So there are many ways that you can include them in your campaign. What are we doing now in this third year is exactly that, what George asked. So we're like making videos with some of our companies that are the part of our portal. their having their ads on portal, or be just a part of the trainings or something like that, and they are showing they are talking about the experience. Why is important to have some persons with disability in your team? Why is important to advocacy that? Why? So they're talking about different things. I think that can apply also on this platform. What the young people are bringing to the company? Why is important to employ young people for new ideas, for new technology knowledge, for different things, just to see how companies has benefits from that, and that you can include in your campaign. So there are several ways that you can make them interested in. Yeah.
Finishing words from the panelists. So I would like to invite you to be a bit shorter with your answers so that we can close the session. Thank you.
The question was related to career counseling, right? Well, specifically for architecture, it is a regulated profession by the European directive, and many of our countries have adopted that directive. That means automatic recognition of the university title of architect in all European states and some Western Balkan states. So this is a specific case. It also refers to dentistry and to medicine. I think all these are regulated professions. It means when we design the curricula in architecture, we have to fulfill certain minimum criteria of the content and of the methods of teaching in order to fit into that directive. As regards career counseling, I believe it is necessary. And not because students don't know or future students don't know what they would like to be. We all have certain visions of what we would like to be, but there are many uncertainties around us that confuse us, that make us having doubt, and for that reason we might need career counseling. The world is changing quickly. The progress is quick, right? Especially in technology and so on. And so who knows if my career will be relevant in 10 or 15 years, right? And that leads me to the next point. It's not about the knowledge in specific field or skills. It's also about personal skills, how we develop as persons. Are we flexible enough? Are we resilient enough? Are we tough enough? Are we ready to start from beginning, following one failed idea and so on? So the things are not so simple, right? And that also means taking our life in our hands and having responsibility for ourselves and our actions, right? And not be afraid to risk professionally when it's necessary, to calculate well, and that can also be career counseling, right? As regards the DigiPath platform, yes, I would like to have here one section because I heard a little bit, I'm surprised for this knowledge that university education in Balkans is not so good, right? I agree to some aspects of it, but in general, as a representative of this field, I do not agree. But I would like to have here a section in this platform where we would hear from youth how we need to improve ourselves and what do we need to deliver to next generations. And what I would also like to see in this platform is one conversation room or discussion section or however, where we would get the most wild, most exciting, most risky ideas, how to form networks, to form companies and enterprises that will work here in Balkans. Because if we all leave from Balkans, who will take care, for example, about this beautiful heritage in Kruševo? That much from me.
Thank you very much. One applause. Great. I'd like to thank all the panelists, and I would like to give you really, really short last words that you would like to share your message with the audience and also the audience that is watching us live. So, I don't know, in 1-2 sentences, just wrap it up and we can close the session. Ruben, you may start.
I think Dejan had the perfect closure with taking responsibility and being very focused on basically bettering yourself. And I think that was the ideal way of motivating and critically thinking about what we really want to do and how we can contribute personally to the evolution of our society to have all a better future together.
Okay, thank you, Ruben. Ms. Sanya?
Thank you. It was a really pleasure to hear from all these experts here. I think I will just come back a little bit on my sentence that I said. One of the most important things in every project is mutual cooperation. So what we showed here. So if we cooperate and deliver information and combine information and find right channel to get them to our beneficiaries, I think that this could be one very successful platform for everybody.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. I think that one important key message I want to give is to learn how to learn. Knowledge is available. You don't go to university to get knowledge. You can get it through Coursera, YouTube, so many different avenues. We are flooded by knowledge. You need to learn how to learn. Also because the knowledge gets out of date pretty soon. I mean, technology, programming languages are changing all the time. Frameworks are changing all the time. So it's important to be able to adapt. Like you say, you change so many different fields and activities. So that is a key skill. And for what? Well, be committed to your values and to your ideas. Be truthful to yourself. And then try to be adaptive to the environment, adaptive to the people you have together with you, people you encounter. The people element is very important. And try to adapt, be truthful to yourself, and get to the goal.
Thank you very much. Mr. Dejan?
Francesco, thanks. I would add to you just that applied knowledge is equal to competence. So practically work on being tech savvy because that is the future. So tech savviness and support people. So be a good team worker. That will also help you develop yourself. So don't be selfish. Share with your teams and work as a team player. And at the end, so be resilient. So don't be afraid to start over.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Saya?
Yes, I think I would have nothing to add to my previous sentences and also to what the colleague said. I agree.
Okay, thank you very much. And Mr. Christian?
And from my side, take responsibility, but ask for responsibility from the decision makers and your representatives. And regarding putting the decision makers and young people in the same room, there's already a lot of methodologies used in EU Youth Dialogue that are proven to be very successful. Unfortunately, is restricted to the member states, but there's a great use of methodology in non-EU states such as Serbia. So that can be a food for thought for Youth Alliance Kruševo team to think about that as a next big project.
Yay. Okay, thank you dear panelists, dear guests. Thank you everybody for listening and engaging in the discussion. We were talking about creating a platform. We were discussing ideas, visions, and thinking about how we can make a better cooperation in the region when it comes to mobility, when it comes to education, academics, business, entrepreneurship. We discussed different ideas that we as young people deem important for our future. So invite you on the coffee break to discuss also maybe further your questions that popped up with the panelists. And I would like to thank you from myself and also the team. I give the floor also to Anelia if she wants to add something. If not, Janeta will continue, finish.
It's okay. I just wanted to inform you that the coffee break will last till 12:40, and after that, come back to the conference room. We'll start with the next Real Talk session.